name's Tom Bestwick and I'm the designer and property developer of this development, and I'm super excited to give you a tour today and, most importantly, as the name suggests, inspire you to create good homes. So I bought the site about 4 or 5 years ago with a friend. So the site is triangular and this is the narrowest point. And the existing site consisted of garages sitting at the back of the site. There's a railway line at the back as well, so the site was tricky to develop, lots of complexities to work with. So I initially applied to convert the garages into 2 homes. I tend to work by applying initially for something simple to make the site profitable, and then reapplying to create something larger and more extravagant. This is the project we landed on, and that consisted of several applications, probably 4 in total. So at the front of the site, the narrowest point, we have a 3-bed property, which is where 4 tons of brick cantilever over an entrance into the courtyard of the development, which is where each garden for the houses are. Then to the left, we have another 2-bedroom house with its private garden in front of it, which is also south-facing. And then the last 3-bed, which is behind you. And then finally, the really cool thing about this project is it's got direct access onto Tooting Common. So we'll now go and have a look at house 1, which is the 3-bed, which is directly accessed from the street. So house 1 is an upside-down house. The bedrooms are on the ground floor, overlooking the courtyard. Got one amazing ensuite down there, and the living room space with 4-metre high ceilings overlooking the railway track and Tooting Common. So we're now in the living dining room kitchen of house 1. This space is massive. Ceiling heights of 4 metres. Lots of developers focus on maximising floor space, but how I work is also trying to maximise volume. And this space is the perfect example of how I do this. So the gable ends and pitched roofs of Rosehip Yard complement the neighbours and the context, which allowed me to design massive volumes of space. As I say, this ceiling height is 4 metres high. You've got these 2 amazing triangular roof lights in the ceiling. And what I love about this space is it can accommodate a lot of people without feeling on top of each other. For example, here is the living room space. You could have some people sitting on the sofa watching TV. At the same time, someone could be working at the dining room table. Someone could be cooking here, and then in the corner, you might have a couple of people drinking a glass of wine overlooking the courtyard. So large space, lots of people, but you don't feel on top of each other. High quality kitchen, we've got quartz worktops, Bosch appliances throughout, feature walnut doors, and throughout all the properties, we've got this gorgeous whitewashed oak floor. The glazing throughout Rosehip Yard is solar controlled, so the properties don't overheat in the summer, which is super important. London's getting warmer and warmer. So the windows are also designed so you can fit blinds at the top of each window, but you still get a view of the sky, which is a nice feature. And all the bedrooms have acoustic glazing, which means they have extra thick glass. So if there are people in the courtyard at night, for example, you're not going to get disturbed, you're going to sleep well. So the acoustic glazing is also useful because Rosehip Yard does lie near a train line. So some of the geometry at Rosehip Yard is quite complex. This room is a great example. You've got this triangulated ceiling, and that's the result of responding to the context. We've got gable ends on every side of this room, but we're capped at the top with a flat roof. The way all these meet together creates this diamond-like volume, which is very unique. Due to the complex geometry of Rosehip Yard, a lot of steel was used. This was all designed and modelled on a computer before it was delivered to site. It was all craned in, secured together, which formed the skeleton of the building, which also supported heavy items like the roof lights that you can see up here. I think one of these weighs 1/4 of a ton. These were very difficult to get in. We used a genie lift, which is a device which you turn, and lifted the roof lights through the pre-made holes, which were then fitted on top and made watertight. And I didn't want this room to feel like you were in a goldfish bowl, lots of glass looking out. So I created this Juliet balcony, which gives you a view out onto the courtyard, Tooting Common beyond, and it also allows fresh air into the living room. So up here we get a good view of the materials I used on the site. Ideal combi windows, amazing. Aluminium on the outside, timber on the inside, which also matches the green zinc roof. And the reason I went for green, I wanted it to sit well within the greenery of the park and feel like you were amongst nature. The external walls of roseate are brick, which is durable, but on the courtyard walls, I've clad these elevations in large timber, and that softens the boundary of the courtyard, along with the greenery, which we'll now go down and take a look at. We're now making our way down to the ground floor via the oak staircase. The glass balustrade spans from the ground floor all the way up to the first floor. Double bedroom at the front of the property, could also be used as a study, studio, shared bathroom. Storage under the staircases, often overlooked. Another double bedroom overlooking the patio at the back of the property. Lots of built-in storage in that bedroom. And finally, into the master bedroom. Again, amazing ceiling heights in this room, 4 meters. Beautiful ensuite in this bedroom with his and her sinks, walk-in shower, fully glazed wall overlooking the planted courtyard. Obviously, you'd provide a bit of privacy there with a blind or obscure glazing. Again, lots of built-in furniture in this bedroom with oak doors. And this bedroom also has sliding doors, which leads out onto the planted patio. So house 1 also has gated access onto the walkway which leads to Tooting Common, and you can also walk round to the front of the property underneath the cantilevering part of the house. Now if we walk down here, this is the entrance to house 2. So each house has a planted terrace. We installed these core 10 rusted steel planters with Portuguese laurel planted above to provide privacy between each garden. Each garden has a cherry blossom tree in, which is very nice when it blooms, and all the gardens are south facing, so they get a lot of light. So the solar glazing is super important, again, to stop the houses overheating. So house 2 is a 2-bed. Every room in this home has 4-meter high ceilings, huge. This living room space has tons of glazing, which is south facing, roof lights drawing in light from every different direction. And if we come down here, we can take a look at the bedrooms. So bedroom 1, this is a really cool space. It's got a mezzanine. How I would set this bedroom up is I'd put the bed on the mezzanine, so you'd sleep up there, accessed via the staircase at the end. And down here, I'd have music studio, desk, some sort of workspace. Shared bathroom to my left with sharp matte black sanitary ware. And to my right is the master bedroom. Again, massive 4-meter high ceilings, lots of built-in wardrobes with oak doors to them. As you can see, the space is huge. And this bedroom has its own ensuite, matte green tiles, again, sharp black sanitary ware with a walk-in shower and a roof light, bringing in lots of natural daylight. So we completed construction in March. It took about a year and a half to build. There were a few teething issues when we first completed the project. Initially, we planted yew hedging between each garden, and the feedback from potential buyers was that the hedging was too low, there wasn't enough privacy. So we dug all that up, it was an absolute nightmare, and then planted the Portuguese laurel that you see now, which was pre-grown, and that provides great privacy between each unit. Second big problem was the way the building met the park at the back. So we planted hornbeam hedging and 3 mountain ash trees, and that made the building feel more like it was nestled within the park and part of nature. So now we're going to head out back into the courtyard and into house 3, which is my favourite property. It's the smallest, but the most interesting. So house 3, this is the final property. This is a 2-bed. packs a lot into a very small footprint. I call it the pocket rocket. It's my favourite property of them all. Dining room table on my right with bench seating, lots of storage along here. Kitchen in the corner, which overlooks Tooting Common. We put up blinds to give you a bit of privacy. There's lots of runners going past in the park, which is nice to see, but you don't want them looking in whilst you're cooking. Living room is over here. Sofa sits within the middle of the room, facing a massive 4-metre high wall. And I've always thought you could project film, sport onto this wall. So despite the size of this room, it's quite a good entertaining space. Shared bathroom, again, sharp matte black sanitary ware, matte green tiles. And then up here, above the bathroom, we've got the mezzanine, where you can work from, talk to people who are cooking, watching a film. You could even DJ from here if you're having a party, spray champagne, burn the house down. No, I'm kidding. And as I've said before, storage is often overlooked with new build properties. There's an enormous amount of storage space up there. You could even put a roof light in there to bring natural daylight into that storage space. That's what I love about this property. So bedroom 1, double bed in here, overlooks Tooting Common. And in here is the master bedroom. Again, an enormous amount of storage space with oak doors to them, an LED lit dressing table. And this bedroom also has a door that leads out onto the courtyard. So thanks for taking a look at Rosehip Yard. I hope you enjoyed it. My Instagram highlights are quite interesting. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can find me at tom.bestwick. And there's also a Rosehip Yard Instagram page, which is at Rosehip Yard.